Here are my top 10 rap hip-hop albums of 2020. These are all just my personal favorites that I've enjoyed the most and had on repeat throughout the year. Let me know yours in the comments section below, along with if you agree with my list. So starting off at the 10th spot, I got Polo G The Goat. This was one of my favorite albums early on in the year, but as time progressed, more and more albums came out, and it just kind of fell onto the back burner of what I had on repeat constantly. That doesn't change the fact that this album is a very, very motivational album for me. If you're lazy, if you need something to just push you to get up and do, this is that album for that. It's a great workout song, gym song that allows you, or at least in my case, myself, to reflect on the things I've done to do better. So although it's not in the upper tier of this top 10, it was still a memorable album that I listened to throughout the year. At the 9th spot, I got Gunna Wanna. That is a nice little play on words towards his rap name. I never really liked Gunna or Lil Baby. When Drip Too Hard came out, that was when I feel like a lot of people really got put onto him and Lil Baby. And just like me, that was one of my first moments as well, listening to some of their songs, and just the appeal of both of their sounds just didn't really interest me all that much. But Gunna with this project has brought a very unique sound. It feels like you're floating, it feels like you're in space. It's very peaceful in terms of the instrumentals used. A whole lot of different producers worked on it and it turned out magical. I think Gunna did an excellent job of setting the atmosphere and tone of the album, and that's why I ended up enjoying it as much as I did, even though if I never thought I would like a Lil Baby or Gunna album, in this case a Gunna album. At the 8th spot, I got Truesdale, Back to Reality. A friend of mine who I feel like I've known forever, like the past 2-3 years, he first sent me his song, and I've been lucky enough and feel so happy and proud to see the gradual improvement within his music to release such an amazing album like Back to Reality. Everything from the quality and production of the music, from start to finish, this album is very special to me. I feel I could really relate to certain topics he's talking about. So it could definitely hang with the rest of these albums that I've mentioned and I'm going to continue to mention throughout this video. And I definitely feel you should check this one out. Not a lot of people know about him, I feel like, and that needs to change as soon as possible. He's been putting out great music all throughout the year, and I feel he deserves a little more credit than he's getting.
I see the pain in your soul. I don't think you can tell that it's taking its toll. You never want to talk, you never converse feelings. Making life a movie to you, it's just realer. Your life is becoming a vice, and I'm here to tell you, bro, you ain't doing it right. I know shit's fun, but when the shit's done, your legs get tight and you just can't run. Believe me, I've been there too.
At the 7th spot, I got JERHELL, Narcissist. I found out about his music through a YouTuber by the name of Louis Mora, who lives in Japan and makes these cool, entertaining skate videos. He always uses his songs within his videos and they fit the environment and the skating so well that I absolutely fell in love with not only JERHELL's music but skateboarding in general throughout this year. This album was heavily in rotation for me at the beginning of the year, but just like Polo G's album The Goat, it slowly disappeared from that repeat as months went by. But it doesn't take away the fact that this is an amazing project and all of the songs on it are a breath of fresh air to me. It's something new, it's something different, and JERHELL definitely has a sound that needs more attention.
Only so much I can do for your sake. All we gon' get is as much as we take. Locked in the stew as I do day to day till I'm getting them blues tucked away in the safe. I think that I'm smoking too much with JD. Did you know an eighth make you numb in the face? Nigga, I never said making it. Maybe I'm kicking some ass and taking some names. I do the dash cause I hate the jakes, but I tell the truth cause I never like lying. I be down bad, but I never break. I just get up, okay.
So at the 6th spot, we got Drake, Dark Lane Demo Tapes. His album comes out next year, Certified Lover Boy, and this one I guess is just like a warm-up to that. It's apparently not an album, but my strange Drake fact, for me at least, is that all of the Drake projects that aren't classified as albums, so like More Life, for example, being a playlist, those are the projects that I absolutely love the most for some odd reason. I have no idea why. It's just, I guess it's less pressure for Drake to make something sound different, and this one was very, I felt, drill inspired, or at least a good majority of the songs, like War and his song with Fabio Foreign, taking advantage of some of the popular sounds that are going on throughout 2020, and I felt like it did a perfect job at doing so. So at the 5th spot, I got Pop Smoke Meet the Woo 2. Just like the Drake situation, apparently this is not an album, this is a mixtape. I don't really understand the concepts of a mixtape and album. Really, everything nowadays is considered an album, at least I feel like. You know, the mixtape days are kind of over, downloading them on DatPiff, but Meet the Woo 2 is by far the better project than Shoot for the Stars and For the Moon. In terms of content within the project, I feel Shoot for the Stars has more diversity in the soundtrack, but Meet the Woo 2 is what popularized Pop Smoke's original sound. Plus, I really hate the way the label and everyone involved handled the deluxe version of Shoot for the Stars, and I'm just not a fan of deluxe albums in general. I feel like that's a fad that needs to stop, adding songs just to add them and not really doing anything of value. There's so many bangers on this that this is what I'll remember Pop Smoke's legacy as. At the 4th spot, we got Amine Limbo. Just like I was saying about the deluxe albums, Limbo was an album that was perfect the way it was and didn't need a deluxe album whatsoever. This is by far Amine's best body of work thus far, taking inspirations from other artists he's influenced by. You could hear a lot of Kanye influence in this project. As a big Kanye fan, I loved it, but as an Amine fan as well, I really enjoyed the evolution from Good For You to Limbo. I think that was an amazing transition, and I'm excited to see what direction Amine takes his music in the future. Absolutely loved every single song on this album, aside for maybe the Summer Walker feature. We in the top 3 now. So at the 3rd spot, I got Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon 3. That's a fitting number to be, but originally I didn't know what to think of it. This is one of the newer albums on my top 10 list, and I haven't really had enough time with it. So I was contemplating, should it be top 3? Should it be at 5 behind Meet the Woo 2? I'm not really 100% sure. I came into the first listen of this album with super low expectations, not trying to hype it up to be as good as Man on the Moon 1 or even 2, and I wanted it to just be as good as Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying was, and I think it was. I think it was a little bit better than that. Overall, in like 5 years from now, I'll probably love this album a lot more than I do right now. So I think 3 is a good spot, even though the short amount of time I've had with it thus far. At the 2 spot, I got Juice WRLD, Legends Never Die. I don't like the way this was handled, but in terms of content, I enjoyed it for what it was. First of all, apparently Lil Bibby and the label were telling fans to go run up the Killer Roy's albums if they want a digital deluxe version of Legends Never Die, which I think is absolutely disgusting, trying to force feed listeners to do that just to get more of what they want. And I also don't like that they were adding songs and then removing songs as well. I believe The Weeknd's song with Juice WRLD wasn't originally on the album, so they added that, and that's cool. But then they also removed the original version of Man of the Year that came out with the album. It was pretty messy, but in terms of ranking Juice WRLD's album from Goodbye and Good Riddance, Death Race for Love, and Legends Never Die, I'd put this right in the middle, just because I've had more time with Death Race for Love and Goodbye and Good Riddance outside of like all the hits that blew Juice WRLD up wasn't as impactful to me as this one or Death Race for Love was. At the 1 spot, we got 2 albums, 1 artist. I say 2 albums, 1 artist because Sheff G released The Unlucky Lucky Kid in 2019, but I never listened to it until 2020, and also The One and Only. Not only are these projects one of my favorites of the year, Sheff G as an artist is by far one of my favorite rappers of the year. Unfortunately, this was only possible, the discovery of Sheff G, the unfortunate death of Pop Smoke, because when that happened, I listened to some Pop Smoke songs, and then I listened to a bunch of other New York rappers' songs, and Sheff G was one of those artists that stood out to me that was doing the drill scene type music, but doing it with a little extra flavor. In terms of which project I like better, I feel like The Unlucky Lucky Kid I would rank above One and Only. I've had more time with it and is one of the projects I feel has no skippables. Like every single one of these songs on this album, I absolutely loved. One and Only is good too, but like I said, just had way more time with The Unlucky Lucky Kid and you should check out both of these projects and Sheff G as an artist out immediately. So with that said, those are my top 10 favorite rap albums of 2020. Did you disagree with my list? Did you agree? Let me know in the comment section below, along with leaving your top 10 as well. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'm excited to get this music channel off to a great start. Thank you for being here from day one.